The Will You Grow Show goes live Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern. To receive notifications, click the subscribe button beneath this video, or visit YouTube's Will You Grow channel to see more shows and videos. And now, here's Will You founder Angelique Medow with this week's Will You Grow Show.
Welcome to the Will You Grow Show. How are you? I'm Angelique, and I'm here to ignite your inner courage to release yourself from limitations. I'm the founder of Will You and WillYouGrow.com, an inspirational multimedia company that provides personal growth and joy through education, conversations, and adventures like the one we're on today. We're obviously not in the studio. We are out here in Tennessee, outside of the Fort Loudon Lake, which is also the Tennessee River, a beautiful area in Tennessee. We're in the middle of a series of shows about personal growth through nature. We've taken chances to go out hiking, we've had chances to go down by the river, get in the river, and we're learning how to be able to immerse ourselves or enjoy or connect with nature in such a way that we can grow our personal self, or what some people call their soul. This is an opportunity for us to gain the wisdom and character that comes along with knowing the truth of what nature has to provide for us, and the one that creates all, including nature. So today's show is about immersion. What is immersion, and how can we use immersion as a way to experience what some people experience using psychotropic drugs? Let's take a look. News from the Insurance Journal on April of 2021 listed that, quote, the number of Americans taking mental health prescription medications, also called psychotropics, went up 6.4% in the last year, which means that 65 million people, which is 1 in 5, are now prescribed medications to help them cope with stress, anxiety, or depression, unquote. A New York Times article goes on to say that, quote, the nation's top universities are racing to set up psychedelic research centers, and investors are pouring millions of dollars into a pack of startups. The quote continues, states and cities across the country are beginning to loosen restrictions on drugs, the first steps in what some hope will lead to the federal decriminalization of psychedelics for therapeutic and even recreational use, unquote. The previous statistics are correlated with people who take drugs and also seek therapy. In addition, there are millions of individuals who do not seek professional therapy and instead seek to use psychedelic drugs to treat themselves. To highlight a small sector of the individuals who seek psychedelics, a November 2021 article about psychedelic mushrooms, quote, indicates a significant increase in hallucinogen use from 4.69 million to 6 million users between 2015 and 2019, unquote. Accordingly, the 2021 World Drug Report released by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime states that, quote, around 275 million people used drugs worldwide last year. That's 275 million people. All of this information about drug use begs a question. Do drug users know or have any interest in immersing themselves in something financially free, something consistently available, and something that provides long-term mental, physical, and emotional well-being? Because immersion techniques work. As many of you know, I experience a unique and intimate connection with nature. My choice to be aware of nature and the state of its earth, plants, animals, and others improves my physical health, my state of mind, and my overall experience of life. My willingness to stay in connection and often immersion with nature allows me to receive guidance, support, and care from nature, which can go both ways, from nature to me and from me to nature. An example of this was when I was driving down the street, and before I came to a large curve in the road, I heard the word stop, and then I saw a picture in my mind of an enormous tree limb falling. I slowed way down to a crawl, continued moving forward, and an enormous tree limb dropped across the road, saving my life. In return, nature also asks things of me in ways to support it. Recently, when I went down to the river, where I would go take a swim, I started receiving visions. And by visions, I don't just mean a physical sight or even in a third mind's eyesight. The vision was included from sound, and it also included a feeling, and it included a knowingness. All of those types of clair or clear knowingnesses, those clear visions, came through this type of vision that I'm speaking about. What I received was information including the sound of a blatting deer babe. A blatting young deer sounds unlike anything else, and that sound came clearly and loudly to me. The vision, the picture in my mind, was of what it would feel and look like if I was a baby deer inside a cave. And then the feeling came through of just fear and anxiety. That happened for 4 or 5 days, until one day I came down to the river to go take a swim. I went in, swam, picked up some trash, brought it out, and put it on the side of the river. And then I went back in to get into the river, and I heard the sound of a blatting baby deer. I was shocked and awed. I could not see the deer, but I knew the sound. It was unmistakable, and it was exactly like I had heard it in the previous vision. I called to the baby deer. It was frightened and would not come out. I went around the outside of a rock, watched for the baby deer to come out. It came out and tried to climb up the rock where I came in. It was too steep for it, and it slipped back in the water. I grabbed it by the nape of the neck, and I pulled it up and over the rock and out over the street and put it back into the forest, where its mother was huffing, puffing, and blowing to try to save its baby deer from the potential danger it thought it was in with me. So nature can ask things of us, and we can ask things of nature, but sometimes it isn't just the amazement of having these kinds of experiences that happens with our connectivity, but what happens is an overall connection like we would have with a friend. If we need something or we have a warning to share with someone, we can call them on the phone, and vice versa. Well, we don't need a phone to have the kind of connectivity I'm talking about with nature, and immersion techniques can help us receive the benefits of both. You might wonder, what's the difference between connection and immersion? When we are immersed in something, we are absolutely and completely absorbed in it. We have lost the feeling of our small self and its problems and completely experience what the other is experiencing. And we experience what that other is experiencing as ourself. We are completely united. There is no separation, no limitation, and no fear has gotten between us and that other. Connection, on the other hand, can go in and out. It's temporary periods of immersion, or it might be akin to describing it as we can call someone on the phone and be connected to them in a type of way, but we are not completely immersed in everything they're experiencing, feeling all their feelings, knowing all their thoughts, and experiencing life from their perspective. Connection is like a phone call. Immersion is like being them. If immersion sounds like losing ourself, it is. When immersed, our awareness of the part of ourself that is small is gone. These small parts of ourself might include things like our title, such as CEO, or our sex, such as male, female, etc., or our sexuality, such as what type of thing we prefer to climax with, and like our appearance, such as comparing ourselves to others. When we are immersed in nature, all this nonsense is gone, because we have detached from our own nonsense, and there's no nonsense in nature. The real, intimate, life-giving connection between us and nature is all there is. And we are immersed. Although many of us may have never experienced immersion with nature, most of us have experienced immersion in something, such as wine, for example. We may immerse ourselves in drink to lose awareness of that part of our small self that has problems and the life that we do not like. But wine isn't the only way to immerse. We might immerse ourselves in sexual escapades or woodworking. Yes, all puns are intended. or we may immerse ourselves in a hobby. These types of immersion are done as a means to lose awareness with our small self for a while. Our desire to immerse is an attempt to do only one thing: to escape our small self and unite with something else. We seek to be immersed in something because it makes us feel better. If we seek to escape our small self, we feel more alive. If our intention for immersion is to experience more of what life is, we believe that being more alive will feel better. This type of immersion with consciousness itself heightens our awareness. Whether we choose to lose our small self and problems and unite with drugs, drama, sex, hobbies, work, or whatever, or whether we choose to unite with nature and consciousness itself, it's up to us. Nature immersion costs nothing and has both fun and alluring side effects, including vitality, serendipity, conscious co-creation, and freedom. So what will we choose? To be out of it or blissed out? Although I spent part of my life being out of it through binge eating, overwork, and codependent relationships, I now choose to be blissed out in safety, peace, passion, and joy through connectivity and immersion with nature and the consciousness itself. Immersion is a form of letting go. We can learn to intentionally let go of our small self and unite with the reality of something as beautiful and sane as nature. By consistently accepting and allowing nature to be as it is, not try to change anything, we immerse and become one with it. And we can do the same with our big self. When we learn to intentionally let go of our small self, we can unite and immerse with the reality of the beautiful, sane nature of our big inner self, also called the Holy Spirit. When we accept ourselves without judgment and criticism, it's an immersive, blissful experience. This allows us to feel safe and secure because, as within, it is also without. If you're interested in experiencing immersion for yourself, I can show you how. I offer this service through my company's Will You Love Nature Tours, which I lead at national and state parks as well as businesses and backyards. Here's an example of an immersive nature experience shared by a recent client, Rachel.
I felt like I was an extension of this tree, and I was fully extended out and up, like the cicadas were in my branches. The sound of them felt like it was touching me, and I felt the breeze, and I was sort of swaying with it, but I didn't feel like I was going to fall over. I felt my feet were planted, and I felt like I was holding my heart, and I felt just in the moment. There wasn't any other thought of anything else. It was just I was part of this moment in this spot in nature. And it felt very de-stressing and grounding and comforting. It felt comforting. It was very peaceful and nice. And I didn't have to try and focus on my thoughts. I felt more expanded and part of this. So it was nice. It was really nice. I'm grateful. That's what I was grateful for. Just that. Just the moment.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Would you come back and have a tour with us again?
Oh, yeah. For sure, yeah. It'd be cool on like a full moon or something, you know?
It would.
At night.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, it was nice. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for today's Will You Grow show. What a beautiful opportunity for us to experience immersion without actually experiencing it, right? You can imagine it just through our experience through the video. Now it's your turn. It's your turn. I'm here to ignite your inner courage to release yourself from the limitations. What's holding you back from immersing yourself in nature? Well, whatever it is, acknowledge it, thank it for being there for now, and say, it's time for me to experience something new, which is immersing yourself in nature, and you have the power to do that. You are made of nature, so it is part of you. You can connect with it at any time. So take that time, give yourself the opportunity to practice, which means being with nature. Give yourself some time every day where you can just sit and be with nature and allow your own frustrations and stresses to drop so that you can take the opportunity to connect with the truth of who you are and what nature is, which are all one. So I hope you'll join us on tour. We've got some beautiful tour dates coming up here in Tennessee, where we'll go to Cades, Cove, Abrams Falls, and enjoy a gorgeous meal afterwards, al fresco at the Dancing Bear. And then we're going to Wisconsin and then to South Carolina. Click the description box to follow the links both to all the tour dates as well as the opportunity to hike with us, where I can take you on that immersive experience one-on-one. So sign up, get yourself signed up for one of our tour dates. I'm looking forward to meeting you. And today I will send you off now, always with love, from Angelique.
Join Angelique and the Will You Grow team on tour. Be inspired and empowered by an immersive nature experience and supper in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, a cozy talk and walk at Rib Mountain in Wisconsin, a live workshop during beautiful Beaufort, South Carolina's Pat Conroy Literary Festival, and a nature tour of Angelique's favorite place on earth, Hunting Island, South Carolina. Which of these 4 fabulous adventures will you take? Adventure with us every third Tuesday of the month through October in Townsend, Tennessee for a day hike to Abrams Falls, followed by a casual 5-star supper on the patio at the Dancing Bear Appalachian Bistro and Lodge. Adventure with us Friday, September 2nd in Wausau, Wisconsin for an inspirational talk, walk, and sunset vista atop the tower overlooking historic Rib Mountain. Adventure with us Friday morning, October 28th in beautiful Beaufort, South Carolina for a writer's workshop presented by Angelique to invite more peace, passion, and joy into your life. This workshop is in partnership with the Pat Conroy Literary Center and its festival, celebrating Pat Conroy, a leading figure of late 20th century Southern literature. Join Angelique and a myriad of authors, celebrities, writers, and New York Times bestsellers as they present workshops to educate and inspire you on your life journey. While in South Carolina, adventure with us on Sunday, October 30th for an immersive nature experience as Angelique leads you to deepen your connection with nature and experience walking the sandy trails of the tropical forest with loblolly pines, deer, herons, and great horned owls. Enjoy all these great adventures and come travel with us on tour. Click the link to Adventure Tours in the description box and book your tickets now to see us there. Get ready to feel revitalized and refreshed by a day hike, a waterfall, and a 5-star supper in the heart of the Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee. Join author, speaker, and nature enthusiast Angelique Medow as she leads Will You Love Nature Tours every third Tuesday of the month through October 2022. Feel the cool mountain breeze and the crystal clear stream. Smell the seasonal flowers and forest. Hear the rushing waterfall and watch animals in their element. Whether you're beginning to connect with yourself, nature, and life in this way, or you'd like to deepen your connection, join us to renew your heart and mind with Angelique in nature. Learn easy tips for more peace, joy, and vibrancy. Release inner resistance and feel refreshed today. After the hike, we'll enjoy a relaxed supper on the patio of the Dancing Bear Bistro. And if you'd like to extend your experience overnight, book your own luxury cabin at Dancing Bear. These exclusive Will You Love Nature tours and dinners in the heart of the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee are now open. Book your tour now, any third Tuesday of the month through October 2022. Just click the description box, click the link for the Cades Cove tour, then book your tour, and we'll see you there. For more information about programs offered by Will You, mentoring with Angelique, and to watch video success stories from clients, explore willyougrow.com. If you or your company are interested in inspiring our mutual audience by sponsoring this or another of our programs, let's talk about it. Boost viewer confidence and trust in your company. Call 1-833-WILL-YOU, then press extension number 6. Make sure to click the subscribe button to get reminders before upcoming shows.